As soon as we arrived, we began to treat Alice and Quark for Radical 6. I gave Luna the Accelavir that I'd found in the Q room. She quickly prepared it, and... Shouldn't you have cloned more of that? Oh, they may not know about it in this timeline. Injected Alice and Quark.
Thank goodness. It will take some time for them to recover completely, but they should be fine.
Awesome.
Good.
Indeed.
Thank you, Luna. And thanks for finding the medicine, you guys. Thank you so much.
Don't sweat it.
No need to thank us.
Tenmyoji said nothing, just walked over to Quark's unconscious body. He took the small boy's hand in his own and held it tight. I could see tears at the corners of his eyes as he turned away from us. Boy, that's gotta be tough for Tenmyoji. Suddenly I remembered. Dio, where had he gone? It didn't take me long to find him. He was sprawled, unconscious, on the floor beneath the sink. Handcuffs?
Oh, we found those in the crew quarters. Before you returned, we went to check on the bomb in room 2, and we found them there. Of course, the bomb was indeed turned off. Thank you again for dealing with them. You are, quite literally, lifesavers.
And according to these guys, they just randomly guessed all the passwords. They wouldn't know any better.
You have my eternal gratitude.
There's no way if I were them that I would believe that, though. I would suspect that I, in fact, was the one who planted them. I coughed awkwardly and looked pointedly around the room. I glanced over at Phi to see she was doing the same thing. After that, we headed back to the Floor A warehouse to play the AB game. Specifically me, Phi, Kay, and Luna. Clover and Tenmyoji decided to remain in the infirmary, just in case something happened with Alice, Quark, or Dio. Luna would represent Clover's team. With Quark and Dio sleeping, Kay would represent their team by default. Which left me, Phi, and Tenmyoji. You should vote.
No, I'll let you handle it. I chose Betray in the last round. You probably don't trust me right now.
What? That doesn't matter now.
Excuse me. I apologize for interrupting, but I think you should be the one to vote in the next round, Phi.
Why?
You already have 9 BP.
Yeah, you have nothing to gain by betraying.
There's no reason for you to choose Betray now. You see? Not necessarily.
What does it matter what he's suggesting? We're almost there. We just have to play the AB game 3 more times. Then we can all get 9 points. But that means each representative has to choose ally all 3 times.
Again, what motivation does anybody have at this point to betray?
Okay, I'll vote. You sure you're alright with this, Sigma?
Yeah, I trust you. I handed her the star key.
Shall we open the doors?
Can't we just skip past this?
45. Oh, right. We have to wait for the deadline.
I've got 45 minutes to wait anyway.
Oh, well, we could vote earlier, but then each voter would be stuck inside the AB room for 45 minutes.
Okay, let's go back to the infirmary then.
I agree. Please, lead the way.
Luna and Kay set off toward the yellow door. I was about to follow when...
Hold on. I just remembered something.
What's that?
The AB room on the left. In one of the other histories, she...
Oh, yeah. You're right. Kane's body was in there. What does this mean? Why didn't we find her body this time?
Maybe because she wasn't murdered.
But... how? When did history change?
Do you remember what Akane said?
The cat box. Is it alive? Or is it dead? Sigma, Phi, you will decide its fate.
Schrodinger's cat thing.
Exactly.
I wonder what she meant about us deciding its fate.
Perhaps she was saying her own fate wasn't decided yet.
Huh?
The history where she's alive and the history where she's murdered are both real right now.
Like I was saying, both alive and dead. What? No, that's impossible. We've already opened the box. We opened the door to this AB room and there was no body.
No, we haven't opened the box. We haven't found a body, but we haven't found her alive yet either. In other words, we haven't actually observed her.
Right, you have to actually see what happened in order for it to become the reality.
The hologram was a recording from before this game started.
The next time we meet, I can tell you the rest of the story. So come and find me. I'll be waiting.
Where was Akane now? Where was she waiting for us? Or what if she wasn't anywhere now? Or what if she was waiting for us in the past? Was that even possible? If she was, what would that mean? Oh! A new destination has been added to the flowchart. Whoa! We can go back to before it started! Jump! Oh, that's cool. Ugh. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Damn it. Feels like my head's gonna explode. Wait. Where the hell am I? Don't make me solve the puzzles again.
No, this is one of the AB rooms.
Gah! Who the hell are you? And what the hell's an AB room?
Damn. I guess you did lose your memory after all.
Memory? Memory. I remember! You're Phi! She grinned. When is this?
Check your bracelet.
It's a red pair. BP is 3.
Mine's the same.
Does this mean that this is the beginning of the game? We've gone back to when we first woke up in the AB room?
No, not quite. I think we woke up a little earlier this time.
How do you know?
Push the buttons on the side of your bracelet.
Ah, yes. 2 hours. 15 minutes.
We didn't wake up this long before the primary doors opened last time. I think we're about an hour early.
Wait a minute. If you're right...
Yeah, Akane might still be alive. We got back before Dio killed her. I think.
Then...
Right. We're here for one reason.
To save her. Yep, to stop her from getting killed.
Exactly.
Just like before, in 999. Let's move! We need to get out of here
Don't
fast.
need to tell me twice. Let's go.
Now, the first time I played this, I was kind of stupid. and didn't realize I already have the password. I don't have to solve the puzzles again. They're the same. Well, let's do the, let's do this just to see what happens. Sun, moon, moon. It will let you solve the puzzles again, but you don't have to. Going back to the past or changing timelines won't alter it. Yep. Once more, because I have 0 memory these days. Sun, moon, moon. Nope. Hasn't been put there yet. That's the wrong password! Yes, I know. Just seeing what would happen. Moon, sun, star. There! It's open. Cracker? How the hell? Okay, that was kind of random. Alright, let's just put this key in here. No need to yell. Alright. Ready, Fi? I know, I know. I don't need to ask every time, right? Right, right. I'm going. 10, 9, 8. 1, done. Hey! You pushed the button. Bite me. You were taking too long. Does anyone actually say bite me anymore? I don't think I've ever heard that in real life. Fi and I climbed up through the hatch and out onto the top of the AB room. It took us only a moment to spot them. Yep, there they are. It was Dio. Akane! Behind her was Dio. He was moving quickly and quietly, a knife glinting in his right hand. Shit! There was no time to yell to her. I scrambled down from the top of the AB room. Fi wasn't following me. When I looked back, she was still standing on the roof. Fi, what the hell are you doing? Get down here and... Before I could finish, she moved. She ran across the roof, launched herself into the air. She Chun-Li'd him. What the?
He's fine. Just unconscious.
Yeah, I figured. I bent down and held my fingers in front of his mouth. He was still breathing.
I don't think he saw me.
Boy, I hope not. Paradox.
Probably has no idea what happened to him.
Guy went down like a sack of potatoes.
He had it coming.
Yes, he had. I heard footsteps come to a stop right in front of us. We just saved her life. I looked up.
So you came. I've been waiting for you.
I bet you have.
You're here to hear the rest, right?
Yes. Time to spill it, sister. Wait, just wait a minute. What the hell is your deal? How can you be so calm? If we hadn't shown up just now, you'd...
Have been stabbed in the heart by this young man and died. Yes. Although, that reminds me, I haven't thanked you yet.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate you saving me.
What?
Hold on. How do you know about being stabbed by Dio?
Because she can do it too.
Are you an Esper too?
Yes, indeed I am. I am able to jump through time, just like you.
Then what the hell were you thinking? If you knew he was gonna stab you, why were you gonna let him do it?
Because I had to.
You what?
Think back. Why are you here? If I hadn't been killed by Dio, no one else would have been murdered. Consequently, your own abilities would never have manifested.
Oh, that's right. Danger and revelation.
I did explain, didn't I? The purpose of the AB project was to send the two of you to the past. Or your minds, at least. In order for that to happen, some death was necessary. When a human brain is faced with danger, its processing speed increases. Information is processed more quickly, and time almost seems to slow. A few seconds can feel like an eternity.
That is actually very true. Unfortunately, I've been in a couple life and death situations in my life. I feel like I've told this story before, but long time ago, actually probably about 10 years, almost pretty close, because I think it was winter. It was 10 years ago in the winter, and I was leaving the YMCA. I had just done a workout. I was getting on the road, and there was just a very light snowfall falling. And for anyone who drives, you know that just a little bit of light snow and some near freezing temperatures, and that's extremely dangerous. There's a thing on the road, around here we call it black ice, meaning that there's a layer of ice on the road, but you can't see it because it blends in perfectly because it's clear, obviously. So I'm driving up down the highway back to my place, when all of a sudden I hit a patch. Now, I'm not going fast. I'm going like maybe 30, on a highway that's normally people go 60 or 70 miles an hour. Convert it to kilometers if you want. Need to. But all of a sudden, I just start spinning out like crazy. I try my best to steer the wheel into the skid, and that's what you're supposed to do in that situation. But I'm literally just doing I end up doing like a, what is it? 360, 720, a 1080, basically. Just rolling and rolling and rolling into the shoulder. And at one point, I literally just took my hands off the wheel, and I prayed to my chosen deity. Because if there had been other cars coming at the speed that they were going, I literally could have been killed. If I had skidded to the left, there were people going a lot faster than me. I could have been killed very easily if I had skidded to the left. I eventually ended up turning onto the shoulder, facing the wrong direction. And during that time, it literally felt like it took minutes. Like, easily just a few seconds. To me, felt like it was a long, long, long time. This is a very, very true phenomenon. And then as soon as I knew I was safe, I just started laughing. I was just so happy to be okay. And my car was okay and everything, but it's, think of the Schrodinger's cat thing. Like, if I had skidded to the left, this channel wouldn't exist. None of you would be watching this right now. None of you would be watching this right now. Isn't that creepy to think about? Like, that one, and again, that's almost like my Schrodinger's cat box. In another universe, I skidded to the left, and who knows, if I hadn't been killed, I might have been, permanently disabled. Time is filled with moments like that where, and this is the stuff that fascinates me so much, it's that time is filled with those moments where just one little difference, one minor thing in your life changing, and everything's different. It's just like in To the Moon, one little change, butterfly effect, blah blah blah, and everything's different, and the entirety of your life and the world around you may completely change, I love this stuff, guys. I'm sorry, I really geek out about timelines and alternate universes. This is such a perfect game for my geekiness. Anyway, enough about me.
Unfortunately, that in itself isn't enough to send oneself through time. The amplitude of the consciousness is simply too small. In order to increase the amplitude, We need to slow down the brain before the increase happens.
Let me guess.
It's a little like a slingshot. You pull back on the rubber band and then let go.
That's why there was a slingshot in the director's office.
The potential energy you stored in the band is released and converted into kinetic energy. That's what fires the bullet out of the slingshot. Now, while a slingshot can only fire in one direction, your mind isn't similarly limited. When the bullet of your consciousness is fired from a slingshot of your brain, it travels past the three-dimensional world and into the four-dimensional one. From that perspective, time is no longer fixed. In other words, you can travel to the future, the past, whenever you like.
But kind of like Quantum Leap, it has to be in my lifetime, right?
Your consciousness has been released from the three-dimensional cage. In order for that to happen, I had to infect you with Radical 6.
Yep. That makes sense, because there's a couple times that we've seen so far where Sigma's world gets all weird, you know, like it was.
We're infected with Radical 6?
Yes.
Don't sound so satisfied.
Don't you remember, Sigma? Luna should have told you about it in another timeline.
Are you sure? Infecting all of these people with such a horrible disease?
Every single one of you has been infected.
Well then, why did it only affect Alice and Quark so many times?
Well, apart from Luna, of course.
Right, because she's a robot.
Unfortunately, it was necessary. We needed to slow your minds in order to store up your potential energy.
So this was an experiment just to see which of us could do it and which of us couldn't? Is that what you're saying?
Then we provided a dire situation that would accelerate your processing speed. The result is what you are now experiencing. Your consciousness now occupies four-dimensional space-time.
Wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey.
Even that, however, wasn't enough. You had the ability to travel, but your memories could easily be lost during the trip. If the project was to succeed, you had to be able to retain everything you learned in each reality. That was the reason you were forced to jump so many times.
Yep, I had to learn everything I needed to learn.
With each jump, your ability to remember improved. Eventually, you would be able to retain everything. That is why we made you play the AB game.
By the way, how freaking ridiculous and so amazingly clever the writing in this game had to be to accommodate, like, the fact that you could have gone anywhere and chosen anything. Like, that's freaking genius writing. I love it. I love it.
That was why you had to select different chromatic doors. By forcing specific choices, we could cause you to make more jumps.
So was Dio maybe working for them the whole time? I get it. I think I finally understand. Well, okay, there are a lot of things I don't understand, but all of what you've just told me makes sense. You did all of this so that Phi and I could jump through four-dimensional space with our memories intact.
Yes.
But why did you need us to do that? People have died for this. I mean, let's count how many different ways people died. Murder, antimatter explosion, suicide. I've died. So has Phi. So have you. So why would you do all this? What does it matter that Phi and I jumped through time?
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. You are all destined to die. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project.
I already know all that. What I'm asking you is why? What is so goddamn important that it's worth all this?
Ah. I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
No, don't do that!
What? Just when is eventually?
In a future not very far from now.
Bullshit! That's not good enough. Why can't you tell us now? Instead of answering, Akane knelt down next to Dio and picked his night buff off the floor.
I'm going to keep this with me. But it's almost time.
What are you talking about? We've got plenty of time.
No. In a few moments, you'll return to the original timeline. This is the way it has to be. Don't fight it. Logomorph.
Logomorph?
Yes.
Oh my god! The rabbit!
Logomorph?
You call him Zero Jr. His official designation is Logomorph.
Isn't that the, like, Latin or Greek name for a rabbit?
Logomorph, this is an order. Unlock my bracelet.
Compliance.
Compliance! Weird to see that thing without personality.
Now, everything is in place.
That's right. He took her bracelet.
I have put the bracelet onto Dio. All we have to do is place his body in the 5th AB room, the second one from the right.
Because you guys remember, some of these timelines, she wasn't dead. She was alive. God, she was probably doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
That's the one Quark is in, right?
Correct. I will move him. I will also put your bodies back into the 3rd AB room. Once that's done, I will reset its puzzle to an unsolved state.
Why do you need to do all that?
To recreate the history that you remember. Your consciousness is about to leave your body and return to the future. Your body will be emptied, and your other consciousness will jump back in. If your bodies aren't back in the 3rd AB room by then, it would be bad.
Right, time paradox.
So you're saying some version of us is going to wake up in that room and repeat the same history again?
How many times have we gone through this, I wonder? Like, from an outside perspective, how many times has this conversation happened? That's why I love timelines and universes so much. Ugh, love it.
Well, I guess this could actually be our 2nd or 3rd time.
Or could be hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands.
You are exactly correct. Lastly, I'm going to leave this with you.
She paused and pulled something out of her pocket. Whoa! It was a small key attached to a string.
I'll tie it onto your ankle so that you won't lose it. All right, Sigma?
What's it say on there?
Tu fui ego eris.
It's Latin. It means, what you are, I was. What I am, you will be.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do? Oh no. Do you guys remember?
It will help you meet someone who's very important.
What?
Go. Return to the future. You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you. Now hurry.